What's one word that comes to mind when you hear AI in Africa? I can see opportunity, possibility, data. We have more responses. The code to join the Menti is 47 43 1004. You join it from menti.com, or you can scan this code. Our second question that's on Menti is, if AI could do one thing to make your life easier this week, what would that be? If your response is longer, you can also share in the chat. I'll let you know my answer verbally. If AI could do one thing for me this week, it would probably be moderating this event. But since I've not yet made a model that can do that for me, I'll be moderating it. Yeah, and you will have some good time. So you can write your responses. If AI could do one thing for you this evening or this week, what would it be? Clean the house. That's a fun one. Is change. We'll start immediately at 7:05. So I hope more people are sharing what they would want AI to do to make their life easier. This help me cook. It really, maybe it can help you create a recipe or plan your meals for the day, for the week or month. Oh, plan my day better. I think you would like to know these answers in more detail. Oh, help me in parenting. That's a new one. Would you want it to be like a living or help you from time to time? That's important. So thank you guys. It's been fun engaging with you. Good evening once more in case you were not here initially. And welcome to another edition of Mozisha's webinar series. Today's session, which has brought us together, is Beyond the Hype, Women AI and Big Opportunities. It's about moving past the buzzwords and looking at what AI really means to us as young Africans, as women in tech and beyond, and for all those who are ready to build the future. I'm Gleris Wagura, and I'll be your moderator this evening. I can see our speakers are all here, so help me welcome the incredible women whose work embodies innovation, leadership, impact, and each from a different corner of Africa. From the south, we have Keneilwe Mafatshe, who's an integration consultant and founder of Mafatshe. Okay, I hope the H is silent. I'm really not hoping I'm not butchering it. System solution with 12 years of experience in tech across multiple industries. She holds a master's in AI from Wits University. She was runners-up for the Adele Williams Masters Award for 2025. And she's currently developing a clothing virtual try-on using the fusion model. I can't wait to see that. Other than that, she's a mom. How cool is that? So thank you, Keneilwe, and welcome. From the East, from East Africa, we are joined by Cynthia. She's a PhD student and NLP researcher at Maternal University. She's co-founder of Tona Team, and she's advancing AI for African languages. So she's the person you need to talk to if you're interested in NLP. She's a member of Caribou PhD Scholars Collective, focusing on AI and the future of work. And she advocates for mentorship and inclusive AI. Coming in from the West, we have Funmi. I hope you've seen her in the chat. You can say hi to her. She's a general manager for Silverbird Cinemas West Africa and a visionary leader in African cinema. She's the first woman to hold that position. She previously led Silverbird Ghana to record-breaking success, and she's named among the top 50 women in global cinema, Celluloid Junkie 2020. So ladies, we are so excited to have you here. Welcome to Mozisha, and we hope for an amazing panel session.
Thank you. Lovely meeting here. Lovely me being here tonight. Thank you. English is running away.
No, it won't. Not tonight. But thank you for joining. We can start with the first question, whereby you can briefly introduce yourself and let us know how you joined the AI space.
Sorry, me.
Yeah, you can start with Keneilwe, then Cynthia, then you can have Funmi.
Oh, perfect. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so as mentioned, I'm Keneilwe. I've been in tech for over a decade. I'm also an AI enthusiast. I've just completed my master's in AI from WIT. I decided on that program because I was curious about what AI really is and how it works and how I could get involved, basically. Yeah, that's how I got involved in AI.
Thank you. We can have Cynthia.
Hey everyone, it's a pleasure to see everyone here. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you, Gleris and team, for organizing this. I think it's a very important conversation. My name is Cynthia Amol. As has been mentioned, I'm a PhD student at Masai University in Kenya. I'm also the co-founder for an organization called Tonitive, where we are expanding African data sets. For me, I got into tech by chance, I can say, because I finished my bachelor's in 2019. And then during COVID in 2021, 2022, we had a lot of free time. So I decided to start doing my master's. And that's when I was introduced to NLP, specifically African NLP. And then I just grew to love it more. And now in the founder space, I have found ways in which we can use AI to further our languages. And that was quite exciting for me. So I think I'm going to stay here for a while.
Thank you, Cynthia. Hi, Funmi. How are you this evening?
Oh, hello. Good evening. Good
Good
evening. My
evening.
name is onuma. I'm the general manager of Silverbird Cinemas in West Africa, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Basically, for me, how I got involved with I think AI found me first because of the nature of my job. We have due to the technical equipment we have in the film industry and the cinemas, while we're operating some of our equipment, we found out that we had to go digital. And when I said to build an app for our cinemas, it opened my eyes to the other side of artificial intelligence. So I think few 3 years, 3 years I've had that started the journey into artificial intelligence. Okay.
Thank you. Your stories are really nice. And we can move on to the part in our session about being beyond the hype. When you hear the phrase beyond the hype, what does it mean to you in the context of AI? We can start with Cynthia, then Tony, then Keneilwe.
Come again? You said when you hear? I
Okay.
think I lost a bit. Sorry.
Okay. When you hear the phrase beyond the hype, what does it mean to you in the context of AI?
Yes, yes. For beyond the hype, for me means filtering out the noise. I think right now, a lot of people are doing a lot of things, and if you want to get into everything, it won't be possible. You get lost in a lot of the technicalities, a lot of the noise. So beyond the hype for me is filtering the noise, finding where you belong, and exploring that in a way that you feel you can make meaningful impact. So yeah, it's being yourself and exploring it extensively.
You're mute, Gleris.
Sorry, thank you for letting me know. When you hear the phrase beyond the hype, what does it mean to you in the context of AI? For me, you can go next.
Sorry, I didn't get.
When you hear the phrase beyond the hype, what does it mean to you in the context of AI?
Well, for me, it's actually very interesting because we haven't fully discovered what AI has to offer. Because in my industry, the filmmaking industry, we've seen where animated films and are being done, and we have where there's a lot of technology advancements. Beyond the hype, I think, will I say protecting people's assets, how IP rights, how your products are being given out for free, how do you protect your intellectual property? So for me, I think that's where I have a little bit of challenge, because AI can duplicate anything, but where does the boundary lie? For me, basically, we haven't fully utilized it in this side of the country, of the world, basically, and we're still exploring. We haven't really gotten into depth of what artificial intelligence has to offer.
Okay. Keneilwe, your last in line. Cynthia said filtering the noise. For me, said denoted explore what AI has to offer. What when you hear the phrase beyond the hype, what does that mean to you in the context of AI?
Perfect. Thank you. So for me, beyond the hype in the context of AI means understanding what AI really is, its building blocks, its various branches, whether it be machine learning or deep learning, for example, and not getting caught up in the AI is taking over ideology. Also understanding the impacts of AI in society. And for me personally, hopefully ending up in a position where I can use AI to solve some of my everyday problems. So bringing it to my fundamentals, so what's important to me and for me, and knowing and understanding what AI can do for me. Yeah, in Africa, as an African child or woman, with problems unique to my continent or my country, and basically bring it home and make it my own. That's what it means for me.
Thank you for sharing. Following up to what you said about AI solving something for you, a big challenge for you, from your perspective, where are the big and immediate opportunities for young Africans in AI, both those in tech and especially for those without any technical background?
Okay, I think apart from the obvious data science roles, for those that are technical, for the non-technical people, practically a real opportunity in AI would be AI project coordination or project management, in my opinion. Or if you want to use AI tools or applications in your everyday, for everyday use, whether it be the famous ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, to extend your knowledge in a specific area of, or in your field. I think practically those are the opportunities for non-technical people that might be interested in AI.
Thank you for that, Keneilwe. Cynthia, maybe we can hear your perspective on the same. From your perspective, where are the real and immediate opportunities for young Africans?
Yes, following up on what Keneilwe has said, there are so many roles of people, even non-tech people within the AI ecosystem. Not all of us can be coders, not all of us can be training models. At Tonative, what we do is we are extracting African languages. So we're working with creative people, you're working with linguists, you're working with native language speakers, because you don't have to be training the model for you to contribute to that model being successful. By you translating a data set to your language, validating a data set in your language, contributing your own voices to some of these speech models, you're also helping build these AI models that can speak our languages. So it's about finding your space and finding what you can do within that ecosystem. If you can speak an African language, for me, especially at Native, so long as you can speak an African language, then you can be in the AI ecosystem. And the way Keneilwe said, there are so many other roles that are non-technical that you can be part of. You can do project management, as she says. You can do evaluations, because that doesn't really need you to be as technical. But in whatever capacity, so long as you're advancing the AI agenda, especially in the African context, it's very important.
Thank you, Cynthia. For me, we'd also love to hear your perspective on the same. Where are the real and immediate opportunities for young Africans, especially in your area or any other place?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. You know the English West Africa.
Okay,
So,
from your perspective.
what question was it?
From your perspective, where are the real immediate opportunities for young Africans in AI, either for the people in the technical background or for the people without a technical background?
I think I know for a certain how AI has helped me in analyzing marketing, understanding the demographics for certain films. AI helps me with a lot of data, and it helps me understand how to do my movie scheduling, what movies might do well in certain areas in West Africa or even in Nigeria. AI helps with social media, with ChatGPT Pro. or Gemini, you can actually create animated social media content with that. And there's so many opportunities. I can look from what I just said. I'm talking about a data analyst, a marketing researcher, someone, just with, using AI for a movie lineup, understanding for whom, for why. It helps us with so much. We're just sitting down with a laptop or a phone, doing all that in under 2 hours. Takes away a lot of travel time, logistics, being on the road, making phone calls. So with AI is part of us. It's not going to replace humans. What is going to happen is AI is going to help you understand that is part of your daily job. It's not just a separate skill that you need to learn. It complements what you already know or your daily job. Thank you.
To follow up on what you said about AI not replacing humans, what are some of the must-have skills that young people should start developing now if they hope to excel in AI? Oh, Cynthia, I can see your hand is up. You can go first.
Oh yeah, just building up on the topic we were talking about earlier on, and I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
There's also a very untapped field that even for non-technical people, when it comes to policy, I think AI policy is something that right now everyone is speaking about and not many people are researching about. It's a very important aspect of developing AI models. Most people, when they think about AI, they think about getting data, training models, building all these big solutions. But policy is one area that is quite untapped, and it's quite an area that really still needs people with fresh eyes, need people who can speak of policy, can speak to governments, can speak to stakeholders in order to make AI safe, to make AI trustworthy, and all these other aspects that are quite overlooked.
Thank you for mentioning that, Cynthia. There's actually an AI policy and safety and security hub that was launched on last Sunday, but one, at the University of Cape Town. So if anyone is interested, they can look into that. There's also global AI governance where you can follow if you need more knowledge on AI safety, security, policy making, which is quite an unventured case, as Cynthia had mentioned. Yeah, so my question was to Funmi, where she spoke about how AI won't be replacing humans. But so I was asking her to speak more about the matter skills that young people should start developing now if they hope to co-work and exist with AI. Tony, I hope you can hear me. As he joins, maybe Keneilwe, you can go first.
Sorry, Gleris, please repeat the question. I think your connection is a bit.
Yeah, Gleris, your voice, it's really hard to hear. I don't know if it's your mic or what. So
Give me a minute. Let me switch that to see whether it gets better. Can you hear me much better from this?
Much
perfect.
better.
Thank you. The question I had asked is, what are some must-have skills that people who are venturing in AI or who want to coexist in an AI space should develop?
So I'm very technical. So I'm going to go with the technical stuff. I'll go with your maths, your statistics. Definitely, those are the fundamentals, the building blocks of all these algorithms or whatever AI, machine learning, or even robotics application that you might want to embark on. I'm also big on fundamentals. because for me, it's important for us South Africans to be part of the innovation from the foundational level. We need to be able to engage with the technology as such. So I think, you know, it's important. The maths and the statistics is important to know and understand for the purpose if you want to really participate in building these or any kind of model, whether it's language or computer NLP or computer vision. Right now, Python, that's the go-to language for your AI, machine learning, deep learning, and all of that. And I guess all the soft skills that are important in any other industry. You need to be able to work as a team player. You need to be able to collaborate with and work with teams, not only from where you are, but teams from literally all over the world. This technology is, it's everyone is building on it. So there's information everywhere. With technology, with the internet, you can interact and collaborate with anyone, anywhere. So I think that would be the important skills for me would be the maths, the stats, the Python, and just be able to collaborate with everyone.
Thank you. For me, I can say you're back. We were building up on your point about how AI can't be replacing humans. And I was asking about must-have skills for young people who want to work and collaborate in the AI space. So you can share with us your perspective.
Okay,
Then
well,
Cynthia
I think that, yeah, I think for me, where people that I work with, basically like the data analyst, someone that understands, will I say, the prompts, knowing how to actually, put up a prompt for AI, because most of the things you need AI to generate for you needs to be properly worded, to get what you really want. If you're into designing like a dress, like a designer, you want to work on a dress, you need to properly have it must be properly spelled out and given the, how will I put it, putting up the instruction for the particular outfits, for whom, the kind of size, the kind of dress you want to make. So like I said, AI complements what you already know. You can't, if you're a medical practitioner and you use AI to research about a product, it helps you easier because you already understand the chemical quantities to mix or what you're actually looking for. So it's a complementary skill, not just a full AI specialist, in what sector, So basically for me, from the film sector is the kind of film you want to do, the kind of design, graphics design you want to do, the data, understanding as a data analyst, what kind of film are you researching for? Is it action, thriller, for which demographic, which location, who likes the actor, which area? So it depends. So it actually complements. So the question is, what do you like? What are you searching for? The question is what is your why? Why do you want to learn artificial intelligence? What do you feel that what skill do you have that you feel will be an added advantage that will make yourself employable and marketable to sell that knowledge? So I think the question is not the other way. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. So it's a reminder for everyone to know their why and to work on improving that. Cynthia?
Yes, I agree with both of these wonderful women here. And it's usually still boils back to the hype and the noise of everything. It's not possible, I believe, to do everything and be an expert in everything AI related. So it starts from, I'm all for diversifying your portfolio, but I'm also for being a professional and being the go-to person for a specific thing. So depending on what you want to do, find out the requirements for whatever you want to do. If you want to be a machine learning engineer, for example, you want to be a data scientist, you want to, whatever role that you want to play in the AI ecosystem, find out the requirements for that role and find out how you can optimize, how you can learn effectively to be that go-to person in that field. I like being the person who, you want to train a speech model, for example. Yes, this is the person to go to. And being that person is really important. It makes you an asset. And so there are so many aspects that you can go into when it comes to AI, aside from just the practical that Keneilwe is talking about, the data science, and the math bit of all of it, to the policy, which is more advocacy and all that. And so learning whatever you want to do and who you want to be in that ecosystem and finding out the fundamentals of that, so the basics of it, all the way to the advanced. And there are all these tools that I think when we mentioned that you can learn, you can actually become like from a beginner to a very advanced person even without stepping into a class. So find out the tools, find out the fundamentals, and find out how to get to be very advanced in that field and diversify that portfolio as much as you can.
Thank you, Cynthia. Speaking of diversification, what are some of the challenges that you foresee that are ripe for AI innovation now or in the near future that people can start working towards?
Yeah, I think there's so many right now challenges. There's a colleague of mine in a part of the collective who is working on how overdependence on AI is creating all this kind of propagation bias in whatever we are doing. And so we are kind of feeding into the bias that we are feeding the AI into and learning in that way. And so I feel it still boils back to the fundamentals, get the fundamentals right, learn how to do things right, and then use AI as a tool make you better.
Cool. Keneilwe, do you have something to add on to that? Any industry or problems areas that you've noticed that are ripe for innovation in the AI in Africa?
Yeah, so I think what I was thinking about when I thought about this question was where the opportunities for AI on innovation, which industries, are ready, we can explore for AI innovation. And I think multiple industries that I've worked in, like banking, I think your mining, there's a lot of data already available for within these industries that one can look into and potentially innovate using AI. I think, there are use cases that can be identified in the education sector, for example, especially when it comes to language and learning. There's also use cases that have been identified in government institutions, like fundamentals like sentiment analysis, for example, just trying to understand how people are feeling about whatever, whether, accessing that information from social media. I think that's on a very practical level. That's something the government and data scientists in the government sector can and have actually tapped into. I know that there's also innovation currently happening in health, mainly to see, some kind of predictive analysis as to see how diseases are moving. So a good example for that would be with COVID-19, where based on historical data, we could predict what's going to happen, and that informed the lockdown levels, for example. So there are multiple use cases in Africa, and there are challenges there and there with regards to data when it comes to AI, but we do have sectors that have the potential or can tap into existing AI or machine learning algorithms or tools that we can use to for the purpose of innovation in these industries.
That was intensive. I hope everyone was listening so you can grab something that resonates with your why. From everything that we touched about, the challenges, the areas everyone can join and pitch in. For someone who's just starting out, what first steps would you recommend? We can have Funmi go first, then Cynthia, then Keneilwe. For someone who's just starting out in whichever area they've chosen, what's the first step you would recommend?
Okay. For me, I think the free platforms and looking at, like I said, the first thing is which area are you trying to dabble into? The first thing is research on your passion or what's in demand. Basically, I think data, for me, data analysis, data specialists are actually in demand because everybody needs data to build up a proper budget or a business plan. People need figures daily to do projections for business, maybe health or legal. All sectors need data to do a plan, a business plan. So I think for me, data will be a first, data or research will be a good head start. The research analyst.
So you've touched on data, research, and using the free platforms. Cynthia, what is your opinion?
Yes, I actually agree with what Fumi says. Research is quite important. Another aspect that is also quite important is finding community. It's easy to build on your own, and some people prefer working that way. But I would actually advocate for finding a community, especially all these open source communities that are doing so many wonderful things and giving back, that you can attach yourself into. You can learn. You learn so much more from doing something practically and having somebody hold you accountable. Just be able to monitor your progress and so on and so forth. So if you can find a community, work together, have something tangible, build up your portfolio, I think that really helps, especially if you're starting out. Thank you.
Keneilwe, thank you, Cynthia.
Cynthia just took the words right out of my mouth. I think the first step, actually, what worked for me in any case, definitely find a community. Not only that, you need to also participate. Find a community and join and actually participate. Just find out what people are doing there and do that as well. Like have the courage to participate and ask questions. And what will help mainly with communities is a lot of people are willing to share information, are willing to share about their journey. And you are better off putting yourself out there and trying to drink from that well of wisdom and learning from other people's experiences and mistakes and what to look out for. So I think definitely finding your community is your best bet when you're starting out.
Okay, that community has been emphasized. Maybe we can give some of the communities or the names in the chat in the communities you're in that someone can be part of. I can give a few. I'm sure there's a deep learning community in every country, so you can then join the deep learning X of whichever country you reside in. There you can meet more people. There are women in AI as well in every country, so you can also join their forums, and then you can learn about more communities to join. And Keneilwe has mentioned about asking questions and also participating in these communities. So we can see there's some role of mentorship that is in play when you want to start out and continue with your journey. So my next question will be on that. What role do mentorship and networks play in thriving in this AI ecosystem, and how have they helped you in your journey? that's the next one. We can have Keneilwe go first, then Cynthia, then Funmi.
Oh man, mentorship has been instrumental in my journey, and it still is. Networking and me sitting here with these amazing panels. Cynthia is actually won first place, and I got second runner up. So I think networks, mentorship is important. It's important it has been important for me in building confidence, first of all. I remember, so one of the biggest community that I'm part of right now is the deep learning in Dava. So in my early days when I got there, I was quite intimidated. I didn't know, I wanted to be in the background and not do anything, not say anything. But joining that community and seeing how Africans are ready to give you all kinds of information, and people are ready to help you. People want to help. People want to teach, and the space is, it's a safe space for one to explore. So that has really played a big role in where I am right now. Firstly, in my studies, the fact that I got a lot of inspiration, a lot of knowledge, a lot of leads to where to look into with regards to pursuing my my interests, or even my academic endeavors, even entrepreneurially, like what to look out for, and all of this in just one space. So that is why I emphasize the importance of community, the importance of networking, and the importance of mentorship. You also don't have to make all mistakes. The people that have already done some things, and they can tell you how to avoid certain missteps, or they can help you accelerate your journey a little bit more, so you can get to wherever you need to get a little bit faster than you would if you were working by yourself. So yeah, mentorship has been incredibly important for me, and I would encourage anyone who is exploring anything in AI to try and seek out a mentor and be part of some kind of a network, and try and do that obviously authentically and as organically as possible, instead of forcing matters, or forcing relationships when it's, or inauthentic relationships, basically.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
I actually agree with what Keneilwe said 100%. I got into AI because of a mentor. Yeah, she was like, I looked at what she was doing and it was quite interesting, and I asked a lot of questions, and then she was like, yeah, this is something you can also do. And that has opened so many doors for me. I can say, the path, the direction that I've taken, I have, forged my own path, but it's through the paths that I followed from the people who've done it. And so it's very important to find a mentor. And some of these opportunities that come, it's very easy if you have someone close to you who can guide you. It is not just about what Keneilwe says, just feeding off someone, and it's not as organic. So if you develop that relationship with someone, if you need a recommendation letter, or you need someone to speak on your behalf, you need someone to open a door for you, it's very important. I think of it as if you're exploring like a park, and then you have like a park ranger with you, the kind of confidence that you have with someone holding your hand cannot be the same as if you just walk in the park yourself. So these are people who've been in the field, someone you can actually share your challenges with, and they understand because they've been there. They can encourage you, and you're not just working in isolation, but building up on what everyone else has done. So it's not about reinventing the wheel, just making use of the resources in terms of people, or just opportunities for people who've already been there. So even as you think of yourself as needing a mentor, you're also a mentor to someone. So also try to flip the script and also mentor someone else. If you have something to teach, ensure you teach. If you have something to impact on someone, always look out for opportunities to also be that impactful. Thank you.
Well, it's very interesting. For me, I feel I believe in shadow mentoring. Why I say shadow mentoring, like you can go on LinkedIn and see someone that has a job you aspire to have, and you look at the skill sets, educations they have, without even being in contact with the person, and will I say copy or select what you aspire to be, understand their parts. You can actually shadow someone that has gone where, or it's the person is where you want to be, and just without being in contact with them or meeting them, because I know or I've experienced or seen it happen is sometimes you might not want to meet your, will I say, your certain people you admire, so you can love them from a distance and just shadow them, and without having a one-on-one. Basically, that's one. And two is have friends. Mentoring can come from someone younger, not just older or experienced, but someone that's actually going on that journey, for as an accountability partner, where the person is learning a certain skill in an area that you're trying to know. So you can mentor down, like looking at a younger person and feel that, okay, I should be humble enough to learn from you because you have something that I want to learn. So it's the community isn't just an accomplished person. It could be a starter, and it could be someone the person might not be reachable, So I think for me, it's being open-minded to where the mentorship would come directly, shadow, or down. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for all your perspectives of mentorship, about the shadow mentorship, about authentic and natural cunning ones. During Keneilwe's, she mentioned an award. Maybe as we come to an end before we start the audience question, I hope everyone who has a question can start posting it on the chat so that they can address it. So as we are closing, can you guys share a personal story of how AI has opened unexpected doors in your careers or your project? Maybe Keneilwe can talk in depth about the award she mentioned. Yeah. Can have Keneilwe, Cynthia, then Funmi. Then start posting your questions in the chat. We will be addressing them before 8 or 7.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, so my AI journey obviously started with my master's, and right off the bat, I mean, the opportunities that came with that, I've seen and visited 3 African countries, just by pursuing a degree in AI. I mean, I've been to the North, I've been to the East, I've been to the West. I've collaborated with Africans from all over the continent. We've won prizes for ideathons. I've been in many universities across the continent. So that has been amazing. So that's been my personal journey. And perhaps the recent one is when I got runner-up. My master's thesis got runner-up for the Lele Williams Masters Award at this year's Deep Learning Indaba that took place in Kigali in Rwanda. So that was definitely a highlight. For me, my degree was very important, and I really did put my foot in it. And this was definitely an icing on the cake. So personally, pursuing anything in AI, I think, it's will bring forth great opportunities by default. It will happen. You won't even need to fight for the opportunities. I think it's a great field to pursue, whether academically or career-wise. There are many opportunities there. So yeah, that's been my story. I've seen the continent, and I know that I'm going to see more, and I've started my own company, and I'm building an AI product. If you had asked me a year ago if I'd about working for myself, being self-employed, and pursuing entrepreneurship or whatever, I would have laughed at you. But pursuing this niche, cutting edge technology will do that to you. You know, you'll definitely get a little bit more confident, and you become a bit bolder in pursuing your goals. That's me.
Thank you for sharing, Keneilwe, about the ideas, the places AI has taken you, your entrepreneurship journey. So it's not only leading up to employment. We can have Cynthia go next and let us know about her personal story of how AI has opened doors for her.
Yeah, I think our stories are quite so similar. I don't know why we are not friends yet. We should work on that, because my story is almost quite similar. It's given me
I
courage
thought
to
we
do
were
things
friends, Cynthia. What are you talking? When you see
Oh,
people.
Yeah, so our stories are quite so similar, and I'm glad that now we share this thing that bonds us with the word. But it's a similar story because it's given me courage to do things that I never thought I would do. I see one of my co-founders here, but this year we actually started an AI company, myself and another amazing lady, and we've been able to do so much. It takes a lot from me in terms of it's very resource intensive. I have to spend a lot of time doing it, but it's so rewarding in the end. You feel like it's something you're building from the ground up, and it's amazing to see the kind of progress. I've also had the same story of traveling everywhere. I'm currently in Kampala, actually. We'll be attending the African Languages Conference here in Kampala tomorrow, and it's because of AI and because of the company that we built. And so it's all these small things that happen in your life, and sometimes they happen without you even realizing it. And then you look back and you're like, yeah, I took that for granted, but that could not have happened if I would not have followed this field. So I've also been lucky enough to get into fellowships. I just got the Google Africa Fellowship, and I'm also part of the Karibu Digital and Mastercard Foundation Fellowship. I got the Data Science Africa Fellowship just this year. And so all these are doors that were opened for me because of the things that I did and the things that I continue to do, and by following the paths of those who mentored me. I got into AI because of mentorship, and I try to do that also for other people so that they can also be able to get to where I am and even go beyond, because that is the goal. Seeing someone at point A today and then them being someone you look up to in the future. So that's basically the goal. So anyone who's trying to get into AI or just thinking about it, even if you're technical or not, just have your goals lined up and find communities, find people who are able to hold your hand. And as Keneilwe has said, there's so many people out here who are just willing to speak to you. And sometimes you look at them and you're like, they're so unreachable. There's a time I was interacting with Professor Mukosi, and anyone who's into African NLP knows he's one of the NLP gods. And all of these other people who you feel are so unreachable, and you cite them in your works, you look up to them, you read their stories, then you meet them in person, and you're so impressed at how humble and how openly they're willing to share. So don't be scared. Just ask questions to the right people, and if you find an opportunity, go for it.
Thank you guys for sharing that with us. I can't see any questions in the chat. If you have a question for any of our two speakers, Funmi had to drop off. She sends her apologies and she was happy to be part of this. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand, pose them, or you can type in the chat, then I can read them to the panelists. You can also tell them they did an amazing job in the chat or on. Thank you. You can see some chats coming in. And there is a question. Let me read it out. I would like to hear the lady's opinion on how possible it is to start in machine learning without studying via degree. Can one get into the field via the individual courses offered on EDX, for example? Either Keneilwe or Cynthia can take up the question.
Yeah, I can take that up. So for me, I was already into tech because I did my bachelor's in computer science, but during our time, I'm very old. I started way back in 2019 when it was the web craze of everyone was doing, PHP, everyone was building websites because that is what was the craze then. And so I didn't know anything about AI. When I started my master's, that was actually the first time I had worked with an AI tool or considered anything to do with AI. And I started my master's in 2021. So for me, it's been 2 or 3 years. But the kind of things that I've achieved in the 2 or 3 years, I can't equate it to anything. So most of the things that I've learned is actually through self-taught courses and all these things when necessity makes you learn something. So you need maybe a skill to do a particular thing, and then now you have to do it. And that's why I also really encourage these community-based projects, because in these projects, sometimes you're given a task that you even wonder how you'll start. But then through research, through just pushing yourself and learning from other people, you're able to get all these skills that are sometimes very hard to find, just sitting in a class. So I can tell you, if you're trying to get into AI, you don't need that degree. You can do all these hands-on skills. You can get them from various sources.
Thank you, Cynthia. Keneilwe?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, so from my side, I also, my undergrad is also in computer science. And I'm very interested in the fundamentals, like how things really work fundamentally. And for me personally, I had to definitely go via university because of just how, for me, it's quite complex. It's quite again, very mathematical, very statistical. There's also an element of physics there. So I think fundamentally, so for example, things like the AlexNet, that neural network, that was a paper, that was a PhD paper by someone, and now that's fundamental. It was groundbreaking. It's that architecture, that neural network architecture is used in a lot of these models, and it's become something so amazing. But that stemmed from academia, and I think that we have the potential to produce that type of work because, a lot of right now AI is quite research intense, right? I think that we encourage Africans to be a part of that journey. So for me personally, I think, getting that formal study, there is value in that. There is value in being taught or learning certain research methodologies, how to think about stuff, how to engage with scientific literature. That is if you are interested in the fundamentals. So I would say there is value in pursuing a formal degree for learning AI. Some people are brilliant. They can just go through courses and self-study and still get that fundamentals. But for me, I think that there is value in pursuing a formal degree for that.
Thank you, Keneilwe. Thank you, Cynthia. I don't see any more questions in the chat, but you can reach out to them. You can follow them to see the amazing work they're doing. You can also follow their companies as well. I hope you can hear me. Okay, thank you. So thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Keneilwe, for joining us and having this amazing session. You have been quite an encouragement and for sharing your nuggets of wisdom with us. I hope people are taking home things they need to do, how different they are going to approach this AI journey. And I've also taken some of my things that I'm yet to do. I have not participated in an ideathon in a while. So thank you, Keneilwe, for sharing that. I can also start thinking of an entrepreneurship journey and how I'm going to use AI to resolve African issues. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to invite our CEO at Mezisha, Dr. Keneilwe, to have final words as we're coming at the end of our webinar. Thank you, everyone, for attending as well and for being participants, active participants.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gleris. Thank you for organizing this event. Thank you. You've really put in a lot of effort and it's been a huge success. Also, a very big thank you to our esteemed speakers. Fumi had to leave because of other commitments, but we still have Cynthia and Keneilwe. Thank you so very much. Keneilwe, your name sounds a bit like mine. My name is Keneilwe. Yours is Keneilwe. But thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to share your insights with us. Your contribution, as Gleris has actually pointed out, has been very inspiring. Basically, the aim for this session was really to see how we could catalyze the desires of our young African women to start thinking of what to do with their lives in the age of AI. Things are changing very rapidly. It is no longer business as usual. So we felt let us actually invite people that are already doing something to inspire some of these young women. And we're still going to put the recording on YouTube, so many more people will be inspired by your stories and the nuggets that you've shared today. We want to say once again, thank you so much, everyone. So Mozisha, basically, part of our aim is really to nurture young Africans, and especially to expose them to opportunities that will help them to thrive in the evolving world of AI, because a lot of things are changing, like you guys all know, in this age. So we're trying to equip them with the tools and the resources they need to be able to cope in this age. So this particular program has been a huge part of us fulfilling our mandate. So once again, thank you, everyone. And to our participants, thank you for showing up. Thank you for paying attention and for learning and sharing with us. And we wish you all the best for the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you for attending. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.